It's Thursday night. All ye critters, come join us. It's time to continue our flight. There is magic and mystery from darkness. Our friendship will rise. But one thing's for sure, we never give up on the fight. Oh, get ready. It's Thursday night.
Last we left off, Bell Hells had...
Bell Hells? Bell Hells.
Bell Hells. Bell's Hells.
Just the one.
Had sought out aid with an artifact they had uncovered that seemed tethered to parts of Ludinus Leth's past. In doing so, you sought out Dancer, who has a tumultuous history with FCG, as well as heading back to Bassaris to bring their skill and talent to combine with that of Imahara Joe in hopes of discovering the true nature and or the capabilities of this artifact once it were to be repaired, refurbished. Here you also discovered that Imahara Joe's shop had been shuttered up and apparently had long been captured by Paragon's Call within the city, and they were forcing him to do work for Paragon's Call itself, and by proxy, the Ruby Vanguard. You managed to ruin entirely Paragon's Call within and foiled the plans and capabilities of General Ratanish. You saved Imahara Joe and another companion of his, also of quite intellect and capability, and with the aid of Keyleth, and then sent you all to the rarely journeyed continent of clustered islands known as the Shattered Teeth.
Sweet.
To seek information and answers surrounding the essence and mystery of Ashton's past and current nature. You now stand in the center of a relatively dense forest. Humid is the air. It's not too terribly warm, but definitely like a thick humidity that surrounds you. The trees themselves are these kind of black and white spiraled birches that the actual trunks seem to grow in like a corkscrew, a slow corkscrew up into the sky, where a thick canopy of birch leaves kind of clusters out large parts of the sky. The cloud cover and the fog that chokes the middle of this forest is quite thick, and everything just kind of has this slight sepia amber hue. But here you are, in the middle of this unknown space, in what you hope to be the island of Saval.
Can we see ocean?
You cannot see the ocean. The fog is too thick. You're unable to see too far beyond what is obscured by the general weather that surrounds you at this place. What you do pick up as you glance around is this topography is like slow rolling hills, it seems, and where the jungle gets dense in some places, you kind of glance up into the distant trees and you can see all manner of shadowed little creatures that exist in the boughs of the trees above that are kind of staring down and skittering and watching.
Like little marmoset type creatures?
They look to be about maybe 1.5 feet from end to end.
Oh.
You begin to pick up the faintest sound of waves crashing, and you can pinpoint the direction in which they are the loudest.
Okay. I don't see it, but I think I hear surf off that way. Do you want to get a look? See where we are?
Let's go look at the ocean, see where we are.
The trees begin to thin out a little bit, and no more than maybe 20 or so minutes walk from where you first arrived, you can see where the tree line ends, and the faint bit of fog begins to show the bluish color, although under the slightly more of a grayish color of water beyond a cliff edge. It takes you a moment to kind of get the depth perception to focus. The fog is quite ever-present here. It seems to, in some places, choke your vision out to maybe about 150 to 200 feet at most, other times even tighter than that. And once you get kind of where the edge of the cliff is, you can see it drops about 150 or so feet at a pretty steep decline before it kind of breaks into rocks, and you can see there's kind of a dark black pebbled beach, maybe only about 5 or 10 feet at the bottom before it just goes right into the ocean lagoon that surrounds here. It just goes off into endless water before the fog takes it entirely.
Do you have any spells?
And the person we're looking for is...
Jirana?
We're on.
Jirana.
Jirana.
That's so I'm gonna try
to send a message to Jirana.
Okay. Heavy static seems to come through, and it seems the ever colorful pattern of the ever-present magical tangled weave is consuming the sky beyond the clouds above.
Maybe if we get high enough, we can see above the fog. I can fly me and another person up. Who's got really good vision?
Eyes?
That's you, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I'm pretty good too.
Actually, I could. Yeah, I'll fly me and him up.
Okay, so you grab Orm and 50, 100, 200 feet, 400 feet,
Jeez.
600 feet. The temperature is dropping a little bit.
Any minute now.
The fog, you're worried, is about to go on forever until eventually it begins to thin and break. So you both break up into a clear blue sky surrounding you on the horizon. As you glance down, it is a near endless fog bank that just consumes the entire ocean beneath you. You don't have that much daylight left, and what you do have, everything just kind of feels like a dreamscape beneath you. You're above the clouds, but everything beneath you looks like cloud. You do see, God, it could be miles away, you're uncertain, but a shadow kind of like weave through one of the top parts of the fog bank. And you see something, this shadow kind of rise again, but it goes a little higher. And at this point, it's almost like a...
Nope.
Oh,
That is
no.
a
Creature. Orem, that is a very large creature.
We're going down.
That's a very large creature, and we are leaving the
Hogness
sky.
monster.
Yes.
That's amazing.
I love this monster.
As you head back down, you get one final glimpse of the shadow in the distance.
I'm going to try to just stay faced in that direction as we lower so I can get a semblance of a bearing for the direction we saw once we hit the ground.
Okay. You eventually lower yourself down, touching once more on the island surface.
Big.
That was real big.
Pretty big.
Where you were facing out of the ocean was in kind of an eastward direction. Where you saw this shadowed space would be more of like a northern direction.
All right.
So you know you're on the eastern, some sort of eastern side of the island that you're currently on.
Maybe we travel around the border of the island a bit.
Okay.
See if we see any kind of civilization.
Okay.
What are you looking for in particular?
Any signs of, like, humanity?
Okay. You, one, help forward a path that is seemingly the safest. A lot of the rock here, when it's exposed in places, is volcanic. And the deep black rock here is jagged in places, and even the toughest of boots would take a heavy gash if you're not careful. So you tend to lead away where it's like the softer sediment that's filled in kind of the smaller valleys between these hills and areas where the overgrowth makes a more spongy and welcoming stride upon your shoes and little feetsies. Just wanted to say that real bad. But the light of day begins to fade to its entirety, leaving you into a darker but still amorphous space around you as the fog gets thicker and thicker as the temperature begins to drop. But you also begin to see these tiny little firebug-like lights that start to and light up through the bits of the local forest.
Pass without a trace?
I am tapped.
Sure.
Do you have it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you pull out of this section, heading into a small ravine, carefully being unseen as you move, kind of keeping tabs on each other and occasionally seeing the lights that were gathering around. At first, they were kind of beginning to cluster and follow a bit, but as you all begin to kind of use the space to not be seen and to cover your tracks and make as little sound as possible, they kind of begin to distance themselves a bit and spread out. Continuing on a bit further, you're now going northward, which is going a little more inland to this part of the island. The lights, as they move nearby, have that kind of fog light aesthetic where what low glow there would be is now being diffused and is kind of spreading out into the space, giving the light a larger appearance, which in itself is a little spooky. You probably pick up with your passive perception what it is. Can hear the faintest sound of like tiny beating wings as one of them comes nearby.
Okay. Okay.
I like it.
This looks almost like a tiny, like an amphibious humanoid that's about an inch tall.
Oh,
What?
That has a set of wings. It's kind of like
Very great combo.
Not bugs.
Huh?
The lights, they're not bugs. They're
What are they?
little, I want to say frog fairies, but that doesn't seem accurate.
Frog fairies?
No, but I
You
saw
do
arms
hear-
and legs.
you're not quite certain where off, but this low, this like rumble growl that suddenly, like a heavy impact or some sort of a, whether it's an exhale or a small collapsing of a few stones that are echoing in the distance, you're not quite certain what it was, but there's this odd sudden sound, and the lights kind of,
I'm gonna have Pate go invisible,
okay.
have him fly out ahead, and kind of be a little invisible scout for us.
Okay, you continue on as it gets darker and darker until any semblance of daylight that is diffused by the surrounding weather has vanished. And now you are in pretty much pitch black, aside from the handful of gentle glowing points that occasionally drift through the nearby tree lines. You kind of step into a small divot and then step out and kind of glance behind and notice the divot is more of like an impression. The ground itself, the soft mud portion of this is pretty smooth and compact where you would just put through, and it looks to be.
Does it look like a track?
It looks like a very large foot, possibly. The track, from what you can tell, is about 7 or so feet from end to end.
that's a foot.
And the foot, from what you can see, as you get kind of a glance at it, step back, it's not like a humanoid foot. It's thinner and stretched, and it has almost like a webbed end to it.
Could I use my Hunter's Bane and a combination of Grim Psychometry?
If you want to try and touch into the history of the space,
Yeah, just put my fingers in and take a big whiff.
Okay, I'll admit that's weird.
Focusing in, this is a very unbridled place where nature has long reigned, and as such, the denizens of this island have survived or hunted. And you are uncertain who is who, but you get the sense that many innocent creatures have met their end in this land violently, not because of malice, not because of murderous intent, but because some things have to eat, and some things have to be eaten.
I mean, wisdom would say that we freeze for the night, make camp, make as little noise as possible so we can hear the things that are moving, and then start again when the sun rises.
Okay.
That rush, that heavy rumble hits again. It seems a little further away than it was last time.
We could just park it here.
Just plunk it down and hide ourselves.
How's our cover?
Can we find a nearby tree?
You can find one that's fallen. Like you can see, it's splint. It fell and splintered about 5 or so feet up, and part of it is still connected, so it gives a slight canopy that you could lay something over.
Okay, I have something I could try.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to cast plant growth,
Okay.
and I'm going to try to make us like a beautiful A-frame situation that also looks like
It belongs here.
natural, like it belongs here.
All right. So as you all kind of cluster on the base of this tree, you kind of connect with the energies of this island. And as you look around, you can see some of the other fallen trees that have been kind of long rotting and being taken back by the force have cracked open, and vibrant, fresh green growth is bursting forth from them. And it seems to swirl up, almost like vine wall cover that seems to reach up and wrap around the top of this fallen tree until you have essentially a relatively tight space for the 7 of you, but a space that acts almost like a large natural tent.
This is so cozy.
Can I make like a little door out of the branches? Just try to make like
Yeah. Jump in heavy time zones, and so for the rest of you, it's still kind of early afternoon, but it's night where you are now, which is on the other side of Exandria for the most part. So you're all kind of having to force yourselves to rest. You're exhausted and you're hurt, but like it's going to be a little tough to push through for a full night's rest, but you can manage to do it. All right, who's keeping watch?
Who's keeping watch?
All right.
You're doing it?
Yeah.
Oh, you got dark vision too?
I've got dark vision.
Sure.
Okay. You also hear that occasional sound. Partway through your watch, you do, because even though they scattered off, you kind of glance out and can see that more and more of these little kind of glowing lizard fairy creatures are kind of like gathering nearby branches and just kind of almost like they're calling their friends over to come see this strange new thing that's come to the island. And you watch like a dozen, maybe 20 of them now are kind of all caught up in the branches above.
I'm just gonna do that thing where like, I'm gonna like, just kind of take some leaves and just lay really slow, like still. See if they come near me.
And it kind of like, and it kind of lands on where your leg is. You get a close look of it. And it has these very like long, one long thin arms that kind of like just dangle from the front of it. And it has kind of stronger, thicker legs. Its head itself comes to a long pointed snout that kind of ends in a small like horn or like some sort of a spike at the tip. It looks like an odd lizard with insect-like wings. And you watch the glow that it gives as while it's flying. So as it lands, the glow vanishes. And then it like, and it kind of glows and then lands closer and it kind of gives off that light. As it gets closer, you can see it has these very like faint, almost like cloudy yellow-green eyes with no noticeable pupil. So you're not quite sure where it's looking. They're kind of bug out a little bit on the sides. And it kind of like sticks out its tongue to feel vibration in the air as it goes, like a snake.
I'm just not moving.
And it darts back. All right, so you're taking the last one?
I'll take the last watch.
Perception check for me.
Not complicated.
At first it looks like there's just a handful, and then every now and then when you kind of look out and kind of make movement known, about 30 points of light glow as they all suddenly shift and move and kind of find other perches and then all darken again. A few of them kind of light up for a second and kind of gather together and then kind of float. And then two of them kind of glide up to kind of look at you at the front of the face. Their weird little lizard heads kind of glancing.
They're so cute.
One of them gets real close. And just like it grabs onto the side of your head and kind of perches on the side. Don't seem to be communicating. But one of them feels comfortable enough to attach itself to the side of your face.
Oh, well, you're so cute. Maybe you can understand me, but can't talk back? We're looking for folks like us. Do you know which direction they'd be?
I wonder what they speak.
It makes like this weird kind of clicking
they might be
cricket
talking.
sound.
If I got any dried meat, I'll offer it to them.
Have a little.
It like kind of like dips to the ground and has to pick itself back up again.
They're just adorable. I wish that you guys were up to see this.
And like carries it off, and a few other kind of gather behind it, and 6 more kind of look inside the tent, kind of curling around.
I'll detect thoughts and see if I can discern what their thoughts are.
Okay. There's, and within 30 feet of you, you immediately detect of these smaller minds, probably somewhere in the neighborhood about 40 of them that have gathered on the outside of this tent. The nearest one to you, from what you get, it's a sense of excitement and curiosity, as well as kind of protective worry.
Just reach out my hand. It's okay. I'm not going to hurt you.
Under your hand.
With touch, I will cast tongues on it. Can you talk now? Can you?
What are you?
I'll give. Oh, what's your name, little fella?
I don't have a name. Just me.
So that big sound that we keep hearing, that's a bad thing, right?
There are many sounds. Which one?
The
Oh, that's That's the spray cannon.
The spray.
Spray cannon. Oh, it's like a machine? It's not a...
There are many holes in this island, and a lot of the water is just pushed through it, and it makes a big spray cannon.
And is there a village or anything where people live?
We live in many villages.
Is there a way that we could come visit one? We're very nice. Wait outside.
You are very big and you make a lot of noise. And we don't want to bring the smelly one.
Who's the smelly one?
The big one. It smells.
Oh.
It smells.
Oh. It smells bad, or it has the ability to smell very well?
Yeah, that one.
It smells. Do you do anything to conceal your smell, or is there any smell that it can't?
Yeah. And you can see that teal coloration on its body. It kind of wipes off some of it, and you can see its full body is fuchsia, but that teal color is something else that it puts across it.
To like mask the smell?
Yes.
Oh, can you take me to it right now?
Maybe.
Oh.
I have to see if it's okay.
Okay, yeah, I'll wait here patiently.
A few moments pass. You hear outside, I don't know if we have enough for the big ones. I can give you maybe a bit.
Oh, I'll take it. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
And it like curls up into your hand.
Oh.
He's not gonna.
And it just fills your palm with a little bit of like teal warm matter.
You shake your hand.
Yeah.
Big shit in your hand. Why do things keep shitting on me? It's a little teal. It's a teal shit.
Yeah.
Living the dream.
I like that he went and got permission to shit in your hand.
I got to make sure I have enough.
Thank
Only
you
if
so
it's gone
much.
teal.
His size is
You're
just
right.
like this. Are there any villages or structures or buildings that are slightly more our size that we could go visit?
Not here, no.
Do you know where?
No, there is no bigger villages.
On the whole island.
No.
Oh, are there any people who live here anywhere? Like not in a village, but in a hut?
There is a Torres.
I'm sorry?
Torres.
Torres?
Torres is the protector.
Oh, where is they?
Torres comes when there's big lights or big sounds to say we're in trouble.
Is there any particular color of light that will draw Taurus to us?
Big fire. And you hear all these other like, creatures, all the voices out there like... This big echo of many, many voices as soon as you say fire, and gets this look in its eyes like...
We can make big fire. I can't myself, but my
and you hear like
can.
all this like chatter and like this seeming like jovial like... He promised to make us a very big fire.
You want us to make you a big fire?
Yeah.
When these guys wake up, we'll get one going, for sure. I think I'm gonna wake up my friends so they can meet you too.
Alright. Is safe?
Oh, very safe, but maybe just everybody take like 10 steps back.
We all kind of gather out the outside and stop.
I'll gently wake up everybody and just sort of warn them what's going on. Hey everybody, meet me.
They all start just fluttering in mass until they kind of like fill the insides of the tent. There's like the bursts of blue light as they kind of swarm in, and then it all goes to a darkness before they all kind of
I don't
land
think
in
so.
there.
They're really nice. I only speak to one of them, and that's this guy, me.
But there's many of us have come to say hello.
FCG, this is either a great idea or a terrible idea. I can't believe you did this, and maybe you're brilliant, or maybe this is terrible.
They gave me some information. We need to make a big fire to call Torres here.
Oh, that was Keelan's friend.
Yes, the one who protects, right?
Yes.
Does this person protect them from us?
Protect them from the one who smells.
The one who smells.
So the serpent creature that you all said that you
One with
saw.
the big
Protects us from all things that would be dangerous.
Does the serpent creature have a giant foot? The smelly one have a really, really big foot, bigger than our feet?
It's very big foot, yes.
Okay, bigger than ours.
Bigger than your
And
feet,
it
yes.
flies.
No, it grows. Many legs.
Okay.
Big nose.
Okay.
Lots of legs?
I think so. Its colors change.
The fire will not attract that creature?
I don't know.
Well, is there a safe place
can
to
do
start a fire where we won't hit any of y'all?
Or your villages, because we don't know where
On
they're
the rocks.
on the rocks. Will you
We
take
show
us?
you.
Yes.
We show you.
Oh boy.
Yeah, now's a good enough time to get up if there's any.
Anyone? Come on. We're going to make a fire.
Oh boy.
As you kind of begin to move up towards the peak of this current volcanic hill, you can see there's kind of a bit of a 60-foot plateau at the top of it. And up here, you can see there are like old weathered remnants of like a campsite.
I want to try to get a sense of who they were or how long ago or...
And I'll again use that grim psychometry on the wood specifically.
As you kind of close your eyes and focus on this space, that shadow behind the closing of your lids suddenly is interrupted with a splash of crimson. You hear screams, and you see the shadows of bearded men shouting as they run in the darkness, the bit of their campfire slightly dwindling in the background. You watch as the flame crackles and moves, and then it changes color as a massive beast moves through the shadow. You hear a low guttural growl, and what looks almost like a flower of bright pink color seems to like apparate out of nowhere behind a figure. As it raises, you see glistening wet teeth beneath it as a jaw opens. One final scream, another splash of crimson, and then you're pulled back and you just look around and you can see this is what little bit remains of whoever decided to set up here.
This just feels like a bad idea top to bottom.
And one of them flies over towards you and kind of lands on your shoulder. So now you make it the fire?
I believe so. Would you all like to make the fire and summon Torres?
I would like to do it and then take some cover.
100%.
Because, again, leaning real hard into the best interpretation of these events.
What if we paint ourselves blue?
I love your optimism.
What? I don't know, just try to do, mesh with the locals.
I'm
Get
already
in touch
green,
with
I
the...
You got little blue streaks on you.
Oh,
How did you get that?
that's. They conceal their smell by pooping on themselves and smearing it
Pooping?
on themselves and smearing it all over their bodies, and so they granted me a little bit of.
That's
Well,
funny.
there's a
I'm going
lot
to
of them.
remember
They
that.
could poop on us.
I think you're right, Fern. They could fly over us and just sort of
Drive
just
it.
rain
Drive by
down.
pooping.
You want to rain from me?
Yes.
I do. I would like.
Bring the monsoon.
I would like it.
Oh, God.
Okay.
And turns around and is that, well, you hear it because he's translated to all of you in his language.
Shout
Goes
out
like,
to you guys.
the arrivals require a rain party. As the orange and purple hues of the morning light diffuse through the beautiful mists here and the beautiful islands of the shattered teeth. You all stand at the top of this volcanic hillscape, looking up into the sky, clutching each other, as a swirling storm of beautiful, glowing blue, pixie-like reptile creatures swirl around you. Hundreds of them begin to gather and turn and spin. It is this incredible, beautiful array
back, or
of
just like-
strange alien nature,
No, Marissa.
moving as one. And as they curl across, it's a brief deluge, but enough for a topical layer.
Oh, great. It's like SPF.
You can see a bunch of them flying like.
Oh, they really weigh themselves out.
Within a short time, you have a pretty decent basis for a pyre set up here at the top of this hill. And you do also note that as the morning catches, the fog begins to pull back a little bit. The thickness of it seems to be at its strongest in the latter, like as the night begins to come in and as the night begins to leave. It never entirely burns off, but you watch as the perimeter of where it begins to choke off your vision at its strongest expands out a few more 100 feet, where you can actually make out a lot more of the landscape around you.
Let's build this fucking fire.
The now close to maybe 300 or so of these flying creatures
my
that have all kind of
goodness.
gathered around the outskirts of where you've built this pyre, and they're all like chittering excitedly around them as they gather for the show that's about to start.
And I just like create this little bead of fire in the center of my palm. You can see almost like a thread. And
My
then
God.
Almost like I'm puppeteering this little ball of flame. I'm gonna take it,
Brilliant.
and as it expands, just shoot it outward and do a fireball.
Ooh. This massive explosion hits. All of the wood that you've gathered and all the materials that you placed here immediately catch flame as a massive pyre of bright orange roaring flame just
That was amazing. That was amazing.
That was
yes,
beautiful.
yes.
Oh my goodness.
you see like the black smoke kind of billowing up into a pillar that rises up and mingles with the mist that surrounds
I'm gonna
you.
try to control it and make it kind of swirl.
It's a beautiful display, and the flames themselves are curling up 25 feet or so at the very tips of it. You're not sure how long it'll burn at that intensity, but definitely the initial spark and the initial burst of flame, it is a sight to behold. The first thing you notice is the beautiful ring of flying pixie-like creatures are all just locked in place, just completely immersed in this flame. Just silently,
Just one.
glancing in the air. They are enchanted by this experience. Jenny, you just barely hear, maybe 10 feet behind you, what sounds like scraping across jagged stone. And you glance over and you see this hulking, multi-legged form that is of the same color and texture of the surrounding volcanic rock. It's like a part of the hillside came alive and is now like a multi-legged, like almost serpent-like creature that is like a massive Komodo dragon made of volcanic rock that is like... And you watch as it's coming kind of towards your direction, but a little bit to the right, to the front of its kind of pointed snout. There is this almost like 5-pointed star of skin that has a kind of a pinkish red color that you recall
It's familiar.
from the vision that you had.
Familiar.
Do you make a sound?
Yeah.
The creature shoots over your direction. And you watch as some of the coloration, that texture and dark coloration fades from the front of its face. And instead you see like pale white, almost like bloodless colored skin with slight stripes of like a deep burgundy that kind of curl under the throat. It almost looks like some lizard or mole-like creature. You do not see eyes upon its head. There is just this massive jaw of teeth that kind of open and slobber, and this massive nose-like star at the end of its mouth that just kind of like...
He's very smooth.
Maybe he made my chest hurt.
They're afraid of them too.
62 points of piercing damage as its jaws snap around you and it tries to pull you into its jaws. You just barely squeeze out and land back on your knees, pain rocking your body as the teeth kind of drag across your body as you manage to pull yourself free. I need everyone to roll initiative.
Well, we were busy.
We
All right.
Busy with the fire.
You see this creature just completely swallow for a brief moment Chetney before Chetney fights his way out to the ground covered in his own gore.
Oh, God.
What do you do?
So, Chetney just got absolutely wrecked, right?
One-hitted, almost.
Okay.
Pretty rough.
I shout out Chetney's name and I just run off the edge and leap. I will roll, tuck and roll and keep running.
You don't fall prone, but you do hit and kind of tumble hard on one shoulder.
I will continue to run straight towards Chet.
Okay.
Bonus action, thrust seedling out towards that creature's outstretched claw.
Okay.
And use it to ensnare it, just stick to its hand and pull myself right up to its face. I'm gonna kick off of its snout as I crash into it and then land down between Chet and it and push and use bait and switch. And I will give Chet an additional 5 AC to the start of my next turn. And shove my shield up in this thing's weird-looking nose.
You got it.
Done.
Okay, finishing Orm's go. That brings us to Imogen with Chetney on deck.
I'm just gonna move my hands, and on the rock over here, a little bit over here, yeah, a little tear is gonna open up, and a Ryloran is gonna step through.
Ooh, let's go.
Right over here.
Yes.
Alrighty.
I'm summoning a Hex Mind.
Got it. Oh. You watch as tearing out of this like small red glowing rift across the battlefield. A like thin, lanky Ryloran pulls out.
I'm gonna quicken a spell, and I'm gonna cast Mind Sliver on the creature. And now the Ryloran gets to go.
All right.
It's going to do a Mind Spike.
You got it. All right. Finishing
Is it dead
Imogen.
yet?
Chet, you're up.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god! Is all internal monologue because I'm just like shuddering in shock and fucking pain. And I'll wipe some of the blood out of my like gaping chest wounds, and I'll flick a curse of bloated agony at the creature within 30 feet as a bonus action.
Like seeps into its pale exterior skin, leaving these like black marks where the blood spatters hit.
Amazing, and I will use my action and my speed to go 70 feet back towards the Ryloran.
Okay.
And I'll try and get up on that rock behind it, and that's my turn.
All right. Finishing your go. It is now the creature's turn.
Oh no.
Okay.
The creature that sensed the arrival and the direction of where you were previously is going to lash out at where it thinks you still are to try and finish the job, but Orm is there instead. So it's going to go ahead and 1 bite and 2 claw attacks against you. Like glances off the shield as it snaps out, but as the jaw moves by, you look right as one of its claws is now scratching out towards you as it deflects off of that.
Miss.
Misses. You like just duck out of the way, getting the shield below, and just it scrapes the claws like across the metal, leaving sparks for a second as it pushes you almost to the ground, your leg almost buckling from the weight as it pushes onto your shield, and its back, like let's say secondary leg on that side, is going to try and claw upward from underneath to try and knock the shield over like it's walking past you. And in doing so, it also like pushes past you a bit over here. Doesn't quite leave the range, but it's like and it's like smelling loud in the air, and it can like smell the smoke, and it seems like it's picking up the scent of just you. It doesn't seem to be picking up anybody else.
Okay.
Alrighty. That finishes its go. FCG, you're up with Lawton on deck.
I compel it to move towards between those 2 rocks, where on this side of the board, and it
Alrighty.
does.
Compelled.
And then I'll get out of here by moving towards Chetney.
Alrighty. Lawton, you're up. Ashen, you're on deck.
All right. First and foremost, I'm going to bonus action hex it.
Hexed.
Going.
And then, can I just kind of move and get behind this rock situation?
You'd have 3/4 cover behind there and still be able to see it.
Okay, great. I'm gonna send Pate over.
Pate flies over.
Okay. 2 Eldritch Blasts
So that should
with
be
Hex.
You see it's like smelling out in different directions.
That's
All right.
my turn.
That finishes your turn. Ashen, you're up.
Gonna take the fist, knock a couple times, get a spark going. Gonna rage. That'll do. And the rainbow sparks just start fucking flying off the hammer and off my head.
All right.
I'm gonna run directly at it, and I'm gonna keep going for another 40 feet, and I'm just gonna bark at it a couple of times.
Immediately it like...
Yeah.
That finishes your go. As you're all kind of facing this direction, off in this direction, a heavy,
Mama.
like an impact sound hits, kind of shakes the ground, and you hear Orem, what are you doing?
So this changes slightly what I'm going to do.
Oh, you can't.
Got a little drunk there.
Yeah. I'm just going to sort of hop back and forth and look for a break in its legs, and I'm just going to stab the motherfucker. And let's make it a goading attack and disadvantage against anyone but me, since I poked its pooper.
Awesome. Finishing your go, that brings us to Imogen with Chet on deck.
I'm going to lightning bolt it. 12,
The thing in the clouds was 100 feet-ish long.
12, 16, 31 points of lightning damage.
Is it dead?
Through a blast in the side of the creature, is distracted by the sound, gets hit.
And then I'm gonna, my Rylauren's gonna attack it as well.
Yeah, you watch the Rylauren back there, kind of a still semi-ethereal state. It kind of pulls its arms up, and you watch as this slightly faint, kind of red-pink energy kind of draws from around it, and it brings up its hands to the sides of its elongated head,
Yes.
and its eyes
Yes.
flare, and the creature buckles for a second from some sort of impact.
11 points of damage.
But that's it.
Finish your go.
Team, Jenny.
That's everything.
Jenny, you're up.
I flare. That's it. God damn it.
Nice.
About time.
And I will hop down behind MCG. Hello. What the fuck was that sound? And I will run around back here.
All right. It's gonna, because you just slashed it. It looks like it's distracted right now from multiple things, multiple sides. But you did go to it last turn, so it's gonna go ahead and unleash 3 attacks on you. And natural 20.
Damn.
To hell.
Orb is back.
Yes, she is.
Still a natural 18, but not a crit.
Not a crit.
Takes 30 points of piercing damage from the bite as it clamps down like on your shield arm and actually like almost eats your arm off. You like take your sword and dig through and pull yourself free. The second claw strike comes up and you just barely deflect it with the shield, but the power in doing so puts the shield right out of the way of your defensive position, and the other claw kind of strikes you in the abdomen for 25 points of slashing.
How you doing over there, Aura?
All right, so it like darts off, skittering across the way, like throwing rocks and bits of broken volcanic material behind it as it rushes off in that direction. FCG, you're up with Lana on deck.
I'm up?
Yep.
Jesus. You're on death's door, Aurum?
Yes.
Okay, I'll move towards Aurum a bit, and I'll do healing word on him. 12 points of healing.
Hey, you're in double digits.
Aurum, get back in the fight!
I don't want to use my action to do this, but can I do a quick scan and see if I heard where that big rumbling brrr came from?
You know the direction, and it came from loosely this direction, but you have no idea how far.
Oh,
You
bad
don't
over
see
here.
anything.
I'm gonna tell Pate, hey buddy, go for a ride. And I want him to like come and just go for a ride and like hold on to this little guy's like little horns is.
All right, Mum. I've got him.
I would take
And then through Pate, I'm gonna do a shocking grasp
13 damage, you got
on the
it.
shocking grasp. And then I'm going to slightly tiptoe over here
All right.
so I can get just the faintest bit
Have a view on him?
of view on him.
You got it.
I'm gonna quicken a spell, and I'm going to take my spindly fingers and jam them into the dirt,
Nice.
and you just see all this little skittering start to, it emanates first from under Laudna's skin, and then you see little stink bugs crawl out, and I'm gonna send them across and do infestation, but with stink bugs on him.
Alrighty. He'll move. He sort of kind of climbs 15 feet up onto the rock right here.
And yeah, I want Pate to still be like
Yeah, he's still
going
like,
for
Trying out on it. Moving around a lot.
Alrighty. Finishing your go. Ashton, you're up with Fern on deck.
So at the beginning of this turn, the sparks are kind of starting to fade, and I'm just gonna smack myself in the head with the hammer again.
Never
And the rainbow just pops right back in. Okay. I'm gonna run straight at Aurum, and I'm gonna just say hop on, and we're gonna keep running.
That's 5, 10, 15.
Yeah, I'm gonna dash and keep heading down there.
Okay. And with your dash and your movement, you can manage to get over into this little hollow space.
Is there? Okay, so there's a hollow.
Yeah.
Shoving you in back, and then I'm just posting up.
Alrighty. That finishes your go. Fern, you're up.
All right, Mister's gonna go. Fiery turn. Nice. 10 points of damage.
Great. starting to show a little wear and tear on the creature as it gets hit.
I'm gonna stay.
Okay. As you stand there.
Uh-oh.
Not like
And there's a moment where everything around you gets a little darker.
shit.
What?
I can't say.
As you glance up
It's a-
and see a
it's- it's-
shadow
it's a good
in the
thing.
sky above you.
It's a good thing.
That gets bigger and bigger.
I trust it.
An impact hits the ground, and rocks and stones and bits of broken volcanic landscape just go flying around.
Wow.
As the kind of dust settles for a moment, you can see this hulking black shape that's probably about 25 feet tall at the top and about 40 feet wide from side to side. What looks like a gargantuan jet black toad-like creature has just landed in the middle of this battlefield and left a crater there. As it lands, it kind of curls up and looks towards this chameleon-type lizard, and its mouth opens up once more, giving this like heavy, deep, bassy croak that quakes the stones around. As its mouth opens, Fern, you're the only one, actually Fern and Laudna, you glance over, the inside of its mouth is glowing.
Oh.
And you kind of look over in the mouth where it glows, and you see it's not like fire. There are like lanterns hanging on the inside.
What?
It looks like for a brief moment, you can see a quick glimpse of like a partially furnished living room and a hearth that's burning and crackling. As the mouth closes. Cool. And it stands there,
So excited.
inhales, and then gives one big. And like its whole chest puffs outward, and the creature on the side of the hill like shakes and looks like it's about to shit itself. It's
We're
about
in,
this big right
You don't
here.
have a mini for it?
I don't have a mini that big. Use your imagination. Here, hand me that Beauregard cup. It's a little bit bigger than this.
Hey, now it's a party.
I don't get it. It has a straw, man?
All right.
Okay. I heard something. I don't know what. I walk under Ash's legs. 5, 10, 15, 20.
What the fuck's going on?
Big frog!
Fuck.
Big frog!
Okay.
Chase me.
You can see, like, as it's sitting there, massive muscular legs and these large webbed feet that you recognize from the imprint you saw the day before. As it begins to turn and right itself, there are 4 arms that dangle from the front, 2 that kind of catch, and 2 that are kind of reared up and almost grabbing the edge of the legs as it turns.
I am going to use telepathic speech. And I'm going to say in its head,
Ribbit.
Taurus, we were sent by the voice of the Tempest.
One of the eyes kind of looks over to focus on you, and you get not a language response, but a like acknowledgement and a sense of just hide a moment.
I am going to back up. And I'm going to say, take cover.
Oh no.
All right, it's the creature's turn. The creature is going to just flee. It goes into a full movement and dash to what would be 90 feet that direction.
All the me's, you can come out again.
Maybe.
They kind of spread out a little bit, and they've all now kind of densely circled the top of this toad as it swarm. They kind of like swarm above. It rights itself
Parked under that tree.
in the direction of the fleeing creature, and kind of like looks over and takes a huge leap up into the air, a massive arc, and then lands right behind this fleeing creature. And as it hits, it uses its front arms to like flip the creature. And you watch as this lizard creature, right at the edge of where the fog takes your vision, you watch it just, and it just vanishes out in the mist before you hear.
Wow.
Into the ocean. Into the ocean with you.
From there, you hear the heavy.
Going boy.
As this monstrous toad like clambers and kind of hops over back to where the rest of you are before it kind of settles in the middle of this arena. Its massive legs, its knees kind of framing both sides of it, the other arms kind of settling into place. And as it leans forward, it seems to like shake a little bit, like it's trying to just finish stretching after its recent tussle.
Hello?
She told us to say hi from Kiki.
Hi from Kiki.
And you see like the eyes kind of blink, and it kind of like nuzzles the ground a little bit before its mouth opens. And opens its jaw. And now the rest of you can clearly see within this massive toad creature, there are partitions and there are like chambers, and you can see like framed artwork on the wall. It's like a grandma's cottage on the inside of a massive toad. There's like little hanging planters that are still kind of like rocking from the impact of it landing.
What are the walls made of? The partition walls?
It looks like they're made of wood, like almost. It's like the interior of a log cabin almost. Like they took like the trees from the landscape and built a home within this this entity. And you look in the far wall. There is a handle, and holding onto the handle, and what looks to be a rocking chair that in itself is bolted to the ground so it doesn't slide around. You see this hunched female turtle humanoid.
Yes.
In this region referred to as a galapa. You see this large brown shell that's kind of decorated and hanging ribbons and curios and charms that just kind of dangle around from its side as it kind of sits up, releasing the bar up off the chair, kind of dusts off the apron and begins to step through the interior, kind of looking out into the little bit of the foggy daylight, the morning brightness that's still getting brighter as the morning unfolds. Kind of glances out at the rest of you. Well, good morning to all of you. You say you're here on the behalf of the
Voice of the
Kiki?
Tempest, yes.
Right, I heard that name. As she steps forward to you, see she's quite elderly. Gentle, soulful, like pale blue eyes that as soon as they look at you, they almost seem like they read your essence in but an instant. Well, you are here at the behest of a trusted friend. So, by extension, you are trusted friends.
Ma'am, do you have a house in your toad?
I do.
Is your toad's named Torres?
This is Torres. Oh. Torres is my companion and my home and my guardian. She kind of tickles the outside of like the doorway as she stepped out of, and the toad kind of. It's like, oh, his big softy.
I'm sure you've noticed the change in the world, in everything lately.
It is hard to avoid. Those of us who have been here for some time, you just can sense when change is on the wind.
We're Bell's Hells, and I'm Ashton of the Hishari, and we need help concerning a particular tree.
There are many trees. Maybe I can be of help. Come in, come in. Yes. It's much warmer inside.
Ourselves, but I really wanted to go in.
Yeah, no, I'm really into this now. I've given up having any. Yeah.
You look like you've had quite a scuffle. Well,
no.
Bari Mondolo is a dangerous creature, though it is just living by its essence.
What did you say the creature was?
Bari Mondolo.
Whoa.
It is a child of the reef serpent Esquala.
God.
Whoa.
Esquala protects the Utu Reef far north of the island, and it lays its eggs at different islands through its lifetime. This is one of its children.
What about those little flying creatures? What are they?
Oh, the Dolabas.
Dolabas.
They are beautiful, strange, flighty, eternal children of the island.
Is this place full, this land full of creatures this size?
Not only a few of them.
My friend and I took to the air yesterday, pretty high up, and we saw something in the air. Something larger than your home, even.
That is likely the cloud jaws.
The cloud jaws?
They are like a sky whale. They can be dangerous.
But you have to be.
It's why there aren't any sky ships to travel beyond the fog curtain.
Wow. We're looking for a tree.
Ventrevere?
Yeah.
Ventremere. Javert.
Ah.
Ventrevere.
Well, this seems like it'll be a deeper conversation than I was prepared for, so maybe sit, I make some tea. And she moves over and kind of, opens up a small closet on the side. You can see within the closet, there's like interior kind of rib cage, flesh. Like the interior is mostly this beautiful cabin, but like there's no windows. And certain edges and chambers, you can see the interior of the toad kind of poking through this. Oh, it would be almost disturbing if it wasn't quaint in places. But she reaches in and pulls out some stools and kind of like sets up a makeshift sitting circle and kind of moves some furniture over, like this big old like kind of rickety couch that kind of looks like it's about to fall apart, gets pushed over. The voice, Keyleth, is a wonderful woman with an impressive heart for leadership. She has been bearing many burdens. The fact that she's brought you to me leads me to believe that perhaps there is burden upon your shoulders as well?
How long have you been on the Shattered Teeth?
I've been in the Shattered Teeth my entire life.
Oh, wow.
You see she does like some mid-air math with her like long turtle kind of claw at the end of the finger.
It's hard when you've been around for a while. Sure.
Yeah.
120 something years. She kind of does the math again in her head. Well, I suppose years, from your understanding, it is hard to keep track of in the Shattered Teeth sometimes. I guess by what you would consider an Exandrian year, be closer to 400 years, maybe.
Oh, wait.
Fair.
What? The years here are different?
Well, the spirits of the land have a unique way of keeping time.
That's a long time.
You get the sense from her that, like, in some ways she's very wise, and some others she's a little confused.
Can you sense the spirits, the spirits of the land, and in other words, do you feel them?
Somewhat.
Can you hear them in other people?
I do not follow.
I was told that I should tell you that I'm a Titan of blood, and that you might know something about the Hishari. It's not a long story, to be honest. I think I'm the last survivor, as far as I know, but I don't remember being there.
This is very unique history, I'd say. I do apologize. I do not know much about the Hishari myself. It is a part of history perhaps I have not read about. But you are looking for the Tree of Atrophy, yes?
Yes.
What is it you seek with this tree?
It's a good question.
The world is changing, and I am trying to figure out what I mean. What my life means, I don't know, and the earth has started to feel different, and I was told that I would find something in this tree that would clarify your power. I don't know.
Ivan Trevir was one of the few surviving civilians of what was previous before the Shattered Teeth. The Ventrevere took all of the sorrow and loss of all that was destroyed in the calamity upon themselves and became the memory of those who had returned to the land. They took root in the island of Kalutha to become this tree, to forever be a memory of the sacrifice and the sadness, the emptiness, to be a vessel for the sorrow of others, and to become one of the few worldly windows into the realms of death and beyond.
You talk about the tree as though it was a person or a living entity.
It is still a living entity, more or less. The tree is between worlds in a strange way. It can see the path sometimes to those who wish to know their death.
What do you do to talk to the tree or connect with the tree?
We have different approaches. The tree is honest. Not everyone can handle honesty to such a degree.
But you've been there, so you know the way?
It's interesting. The islands, they are not stationary.
What?
Many islands of the Teeth, they are nomadic, ever shifting.
Well, how do you ever keep track of where you're going?
You either have to pray to the spirits or whatever gods you follow, or if you know cartographers, they update the maps every few years. They have to. It's always changing.
They must have a lot of business.
Oh, yes. Do you know any cartographers here?
There are no cartographers
Right.
on the island,
No.
but hold on. There are a lot of shipwrecks that happen on the southern shore of Sleval, and I collect
Southern Shore.
things. Yes, hold on. And she steps away and goes back to that closet, and you can watch, like, kind of starts moving things out, pots and pans, like, falling, ping, 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 off to the side, before eventually, like, pulling out a small, like, tattered sheet of, like, thick parchment and goes, "This I kept because it's the most recent sort of idea of where it might be. It's not, I do not know how recent it might be." And kind of pulls this over here.
Travis just starts foaming at the mouth.
That's not 43. That's not 43 islands.
No, that's
Oh, it's a part of the map.
6.
2 and 3 halves. But it's
It's something.
This was recovered about 12 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Is Kalutha on there?
Kalutha, I believe, is the lower right side.
Oh, great.
I'm sure all of these islands are just as safe as the one that we landed on. But Ventrevere, the tree, are there any peoples that protect it or stand watch over it that we would need to be wary of or introduce ourselves to or send a note in advance?
Not a note. The Ascended Host is the largest presence on the island of Kalutha. They were the first inheritors of the Teeth after the Sundering. But they are good people, very protective of their cultures and their lands. If you want to, there is a more immediate option, but it's a bit dangerous.
Oh, what's that?
We're
one?
always down for a little danger.
He
Is it
said
the
the
sky
secret word
whale?
for them.
Pulls out this intricate-looking, like, brass compass with, like, gems embedded in it. Looks like it got a crack on the glass, but it still holds there. This is the lost compass of the dread Captain Novos. Now, most islands of the Teeth, as you know, are on the move, and the wild magics mess with normal navigation tools. So experienced ship captains keep a collection of compasses. Many of them are attuned to different islands. This compass once belonged to Captain Uru Novos. His reign of terror was eventually briefly brought to an end about 100 or so years ago, I believe, by a host ambush. They distributed his and his crew's loot as trinkets and prizes. But it seems that he made some sort of a dark deal, and now him and his ship hunt some of the waters,
Go ship.
seeking to collect what they lost.
Go ship!
I would surmise that placing this object within the waters, they would
They'd come
come to
Ghost
try
ship
and
would
claim
come?
it. However, even the most haunted beings play by the rules that bind them, and a captain of renown like Novos is open to powerful allies or mutually beneficial arrangements. So,
Who cursed him?
So we could summon a ghost ship and like challenge him to an arm wrestling match or something, or
exciting as it might be, it is also a very dangerous option.
Can I use my Hunter's Bane to just get like a feel of this compass that she's holding?
As you kind of reach out and touch the compass that she's holding, you feel your blood in your veins run cold for an instant, and you see flashes of a tumultuous storm. You see a ship with holes blasted in it from cannon fire. You see sea spray over the sides of a listing boat as men scream, and you see shadows of other ships surrounding it. You see a bearded dwarf, face scarred, bitter, and angry, frothing at the corner, his blood splashed on one half of his face. You see him make some sort of curse to the sky. You don't hear the words. You just see his lips move as a bolt catches him in the forehead, and he falls to the deck, blood pooling behind him. And as he lies there looking up, his mouth just curls into a smile as Shadow takes the memory, and you pull back from the compass.
I like the 30% chance with the ghost ship personally at this point.
Yeah, that's 5% more.
Plus, if it goes wrong, we just have to work on the ghost ship forever.
Let's do it. What do we got to lose, you know?
Our lives.
We're all gonna die anyway. Let's do it.
It's a little true, right?
There was a Titan who died here. Is that what happened to this place?
There were two titans.
Did they have names?
They did. Raushan, the Emperor of Fire,
Raushan.
and Kamort, the Empress of Earth.
Oh.
Okay.
You have a dangerous journey ahead of you. Just a moment. I dabble in my free time with interesting herbal remedies and things. And she goes back to this like rack in the back chamber. He pulls down a couple of these jars with like a red thick material inside. Kind of puts them into a little open piece of material. He's like she's making a little care package essentially. Like puts a couple of small, kind of thick brackish looking vials in there. Sets them inside. There's a yellowish bottle that you can't tell if it's the glass is yellow or the interior liquid is yellow. Puts that in there. What looks like an empty vial, but as she sets it down in there, it's kind of giving off a little bit of light in the vicinity, and kind of closes it up and comes over. Hopefully these will be helpful.
these are amazing. Thank
Yes,
you.
this is
Well,
so
I
generous.
also, like you, I dabble in therapy and helping people. I don't, if I'm being honest, I don't think I'm very good at it. But
What makes you say that?
well, I haven't really helped anybody. I'm good at healing, like immediate injuries and wounds and that sort of stuff. But you know, when I talk to someone like you, you've lived such a life and you've had so many, as you said, ups and downs, that you can share your wisdom and knowledge with people and help them get through what they're going through. And I'm starting to realize that I don't have any of those experiences, and so it's hard to really...
She reaches forward and kind of this massive, ancient turtle woman just kind of cups your head in her massive, kind of calloused hands, the rings adorning the fingers, and she kind of just holds your head and looks into your eyes in a way that is like welcoming and forgiving in a way that you haven't really felt, especially with somebody that you just met. And as she kind of looks at you with this gentle smile, I can see within you that you carry deep grief as well. I do not think that you are incapable of helping others, but you also have to let others help you too. Perhaps your friend is not the only one seeking this tree.
All right, yeah, thank you.
I've done nothing but tell you things you probably already knew and just wouldn't believe yourself to hear them.
I'll remember that.
Well, if you do have this teleportation ability and you need to know the place you've now seen my home, if ever you need to return for guidance and ear, you know how to find me.
Thank you.
Of course.
I guess we have a date at the water?
Yeah,
Sure. Right.
where?
To the shore.
Sure.
Will you point us in the closest direction of the shore?
I could take you there.
Great.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna grab hold some.
Hold tight. Torres, to the North Shore! And gives like a pat on one of the walls, and you all hear and feel this.
Can't wait to hit the ceiling.
There's this massive jolt. All of you are to like the floor of the furniture, like holding on. And then it gets lighter.
Oh my god.
The vomit comment.
Up again. The planners are shaking. The third time. She's just going laughing the whole time like Willy Wonka in the tunnel.
Oh my god.
One final impact. And you all kind of take a minute, your hair thrashed, like a deep breath. You can see bits of furniture have kind of broken and cracked. She kind of stands up a bit. We're here, and adjusts some of the sweat on her face. We'll stay here behind the tree line, and I guess let us know if you need help.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course. Good luck.
Thank you.
Now you can see the lips from the inside of the mouth like curl open. And beyond that, you can immediately see these clusters of trees and these like little kind of sand and like it's like dark black sand and pebble paths that lead to what you can already hear is a nearby breaking shoreline.
Just a second. I wanted to wait to ask. Just how do you grieve if you don't know what was taken from you?
You don't focus on the loss and try and concentrate on what you've gained since. Maybe answers will come in time. Maybe they won't. And it will never go away.
That I've figured out.
But it only weighs as much as you're willing to give it. Perhaps you fill yourself with a happier weight.
Well, I guess we'll see how broken I am.
I am perpetually surrounded by broken things. Everything can be mended, given time. So you collect Ashton and begin to step your way towards the fog-shrouded shoreline, clutching the odd, cracked compass within your grasp. The shadow of the massive toad behind you as its mouth curls to a close. We'll finish the episode there.
What?